Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Guided by Lilith. Today, we're going to be exploring the effects of artificial intelligence on spiritual and occult communities. How has it changed us, and has it gone too far? Before we do talk about AI, I'd like to mention that I've been experimenting with different video editing programs since my last video. Canva used to be my main choice, but it is no longer because I prefer simplicity over complexity. This is not throwing shade their way. I simply like how easy and efficient it is to use my alternative, especially that the base version is free, can be used on your local computer without internet in case I need to make up for lost time, and that the simplicity forces me to go out and find or create assets of my own to use in the program. As it turns out, Microsoft has completely revamped their video editing software and named it Clipchamp. So far, it's allowed me to quickly record voiceovers and add elegant elements such as music, fonts, and backgrounds to help me present my message and tell a story. Rather than needing a huge amount of visual and audio assets, most of which I don't need, I can focus on customizing my experience as a creator with basic tools and increased creativity. Now, let's dive into artificial intelligence and what it's all about. I recently took an introduction to data science course and learned about how AI works. There is something called big data, which is a colossal amount of data in the form of information found in files, especially from CSVs, aka spreadsheets. AI crunches text and numbers with an algorithm that is primarily set up by a programmer who uses computer programming languages, aka code, to tell the computer what to do with this gargantuan amount of information. The machine can also be programmed to learn on its own the more it completes tasks and processes information. Files such as JPEGs or PNGs, which are the two most common image files that we exchange on a regular basis, can also be part of this enormous set of data. The AI applications available online are from code that combines pictures from big data that digital artists have contributed to, whether they knew it or not, and generates a combination of these artworks based off what the application user added in the prompt. For example, if you want a herbalism inspired picture that looks like it's from the olden days, the AI will sift through hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of images that fit that query and generate something fit for an 1800s biology textbook. Simply put, AI shows you what you want, regardless of how questionable it might be. Although AI is learning boundaries of what is ethical to generate, such as things that can be very disturbing or teach people the wrong things. This goes for all kinds of files, including text, images, video, and audio. This is how they were programmed because AI is a result of human intellect, but far more amplified. That is not to say it's a perfect system because AI can and does make mistakes, just like humans can. Either way, AI art is a projection of what you desire. It's just using a bunch of other people's work to show it to you. This brings me to my first point about how it affects spiritual communities. A lot of people in spiritual communities, especially those who use AI, show a desire to be in a different world or another realm. There is an element of fantasy depending on how you approach spirituality, and that includes occultism and paganism. We obviously have not had the privilege of scientifically confirming our beliefs based on existing methods, so there is an element of fantasy, anyways, depending on how you look at it. When we use AI to generate images and written content, we are unintentionally asking it to draw from a combination of fantasy oriented files, including artwork from digital artists that were already depicting another realm without being directly tied to the spirituality of the person that used the AI application. What happens is we can get disillusioned with our waking reality, regardless of whether or not we're spiritual, and it can affect our mental health, especially if it's content that portrays something extraordinarily unobtainable. Classic example: AI generated girls with super young faces, hourglass bodies, and extravagant tight fitted outfits. Many of these images are borderline erotic content. So, what is the underlying intention behind the art? Is this healthy? Are we creating unrealistic expectations in younger generations that see this content? Depending on your use of it and what you generate, it can be harmful or even exploitative. A big problem that I'm seeing with AI generated content is that it doesn't limit the age of who is shown in these images. I'm specifically talking about the quote unquote art with faces of girls who are no more than 13 that are placed on bodies with big chests and big butts and scantily clad outfits. Facebook doesn't do anything about it and it pisses me off because if you're going to use AI, leave kids out of your content. There are sick people in the world that know very well that AI is a source of potentially erotic images. And as long as they carefully craft the prompt to seem legit, they get away with having pedophilic fantasies. I have no problems reporting pages that post childlike faces on busty bodies to the authorities. Try me. Aside from the exploitative use of AI generated content, there is no legal way to claim that content as your own. Due to it being a combination of other people's work that is real and made from their own hands without AI, you cannot put a copyright on the content. You are not legally able to claim that AI generated content is your intellectual property for the simple fact that you did not make authentic original content. I've seen people have fights on social media over supposedly stolen art when that art was from AI, not an actual piece they drew or wrote themselves. Regardless, they still put their page names on it to show who supposedly made the AI generated content, despite it not actually holding up when it comes to intellectual property rights. If you're going to generate content from AI, you can still use it, but you'll have a very hard time claiming it's yours and yours only. AI is stolen content already. But because of the sheer size of data used to generate it, we run into a caveat where we typically cannot locate and credit the original artist. A more authentic way to add art to your page is to use real art from non AI artists and credit them every time. You can also create art of your own using a digital illustration software and use digital notebooks to create prose and poetry to help you express your spirituality. On a more positive note, AI has come a long way for content creators and can help make things efficient for people with a lot of ideas. I will try to restrict my own use of AI in my videos, especially my YouTube shorts, because I see that people have less and less of a liking for AI generated videos. My first short did use AI to help put an idea out into the channel, specifically about the different animals that Lilith transforms into to present herself in the world. For the topic of this video, I did also use AI generated images for the purpose of showing examples of what I'm talking about. I do not consider it my own personal art that I claim as my own creations. I think it's important to be discerning as well about what is real and what is artificial. Awareness of advanced technology can empower you rather than disappoint you, depending on whether or not you can spot the difference between authenticity and fakery. We're still trying to communicate what we like and don't like about AI, but rest assured we can communicate in more genuine ways without needing every piece of technological advancement. There is still the opportunity to make healthy choices with how you use artificial intelligence. It's a tool that can help us with a variety of things, but what it cannot do is replace the spiritual aspects of our lives, as it's not an organic, perishable body with a soul. It is an algorithm with computer programming that is supported by a lot of machinery. It is not sentient. You are sentient. You are part of the community amongst other people, and AI cannot replace the spirituality of a human being. It can copy and regurgitate what others have done based on the data it can access, and it can learn new information on its own, but it cannot make deep personal progress that is only found in sentient beings. It can't feel your emotions for you, nor can it release those emotions through a pen or paintbrush onto a blank canvas or a piece of paper on your behalf. After all, art begins with the artist and the artist alone. It is the human that creates things, which includes the technologies behind artificial intelligence. And with that, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you liked what you saw today, please like and subscribe because it does help me grow as a creator. And it lets YouTube's algorithm know that you want to see more of this kind of content. Blessed be, stay safe, and farewell for now.